No, you're not. You don't know how to swim. You're not a G.
Ascension, and all things clarity. Welcome to Mercury and Sagittarius. Yeah. Oh my God, some of you are so fucking gloomy. And the rest of you are God's children. All right. Anyway. Oops, I said a lot and nothing at all. So, welcome to this very important transit talk. You win a new car. Holy shit. Okay. The brain functioning of your ability to cognitively, consciously make sense of this reality is not only going to the next level, but it's going to make you realize how every facet of your life has involved a lie that's just been told to you for no reason. This is going to make you more aware of people who just lie just because they can lie, and that people who lie to themselves. Anyway, I heard that drinking apple juice, I think keeps your dick big or grows your dick. I just wanted to be careful about how I said that, because that makes it sound like I have a small dick, and that's why I'm drinking apple juice. But that's not the case. I just want to drink apple juice for dick maintenance. Okay. And I heard it's good. I know that's TMI, but this is Mercury and Sagittarius. So let's go have it regardless. It is what it is. But yes, because it flushes my system. But yeah, I heard it does magical things to your penis. So I'm just going to be drinking apple juice now and cranberry juice. So screw it. It is what it is. All right. Other than that, yeah. Mercury and Sagittarius. This is going to be really hard to do because everything about Sagittarius is wild. Like, think about how Andrew Tate got kicked out the internet. A Sagittarius warlord. And God, top G. So everything that constitutes Sagittarius, if you think about Patrice O'Neal as a comedian and how controversial his comedy is, Sagittarius in the ninth house is a house of comedy. So Patrice O'Neal was one of the geniuses who said that when he makes jokes, he thinks that a good joke is a joke that not everyone laughs at. That certain jokes you make aren't supposed to be funny for everybody, especially considering this advent of, you know, people being so offended by jokes. Not that people don't have the right to be offended, but the oversensitivity of that. So I want to be clear here, because I'm not necessarily arguing if Andrew Tate should have been canceled or not. I don't really even care about that. I just really like to highlight the consistency with how everything that has to do with Sagittarius energy has to deal with wildness. If you think about how Donald Trump is criticized for how wild his tweets are, he has his moon in Sagittarius. I mean, Geminis get in trouble for saying all sorts of shit, but there's this wildness to Sagittarius is just so out of pocket. Like Leo is extra. Okay, there's certain octaves to fire. Okay, Leo is extra as fuck. It's like, fam, you didn't have to say all that. You exaggerated the shit out of that story, Leo. You didn't have to add that much sauce on that. Like we know you just said that so that it'd be fun to listen to. Extra for no reason. It's like, you don't have to be the extra. I know why you're extra, Leo, because you hit that hoe so good. Like Leo will be just so extra when they tell a story. You'll stop what you're doing. You know the storyteller is a liar, but you love the story. It's like, yo, I saw this exact same event you saw, Leo. You are exaggerating the shit out of it, but I like this version. I like your version, Leo. Because this just sounds like a movie scene. I don't know if we saw the same thing, Leo, but I like your version, because that shit sounds like a whole movie scene. And Aries is vulgar. Aries is like, yo, there's children in this room, and you said fuck, shit. I don't give a fuck, this fucking bitch. So like Mercury and Aries people, mad vulgar. Like they can really, especially if they're Tauruses, because Taurus is that Queen Elizabeth Aries energy. So that vibe with Aries is like you see them fixed and they're like, wow, what a regal person. Then they open their mouth and the Mercury Aries is like, yeah, what the fuck's up with that? I hated that fucking movie. And it's like, what the fuck? It's like behind it, right? But it's not that it's a bad thing either. It's just very vulgar. The thing about Aries and its 0 to 2 age is that it doesn't have the consciousness like Libra to see the effects of its actions socially. It's just raw. It's just raw. It's vulgar. It's unfiltered. So you have that in Aries, and then you have extra with Leo, but then you have out of pocket. Out of pocket. Like Aries is vulgar, right? Like, oh, yeah, I jacked off today. I didn't jack off today, by the way. Or actually, I don't give a fuck. But let's just like say, I jacked off today. You know what I'm saying? I beat my meat. But then Sagittarius, it's vulgar. It's not entirely TMI. It's like you didn't have to know that, but it's just like, wow, you didn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's personal. Sagittarius is now in the next level. It's like, yeah, I would love to stick my dick in a hooker and snort cocaine off of her titties while I play with my penis. Like, it's like, stop, this verbal, and then it's just like this obliviousness to it. Is this like this tactless obliviousness to it where it's like, you know what you're saying is wild though, Sagittarius plays dumb like Gemini just too far. Like, so Sagittarius will play dumb like they don't know what they're saying is completely out of pocket, but they just like to see the horror and the chaos that their words spread, because every one of their words is like a bomb. And so they know before anyone that literally this is their thought process. Like, so listen, watch every one of Andrew Tate's clips when you see what he says and know that this man knows that what he says is going to drop a bomb on you. And Sagittarius is genius like that because they know how you're going to react. They know it's going to be outrageous. They live for this. Sagittarius might, they're kind of like Leo. Sagittarius might be neutral on an issue, but they'll act like they're extreme just to see the reaction, just to see what you're going to do. They may not even really, it's just kind of like Gemini will say something. They might not really believe in the idea, but they'll just say it just to argue. Sagittarius will make you believe they really believe something, but they just want to be extreme just to see the reaction because they're warlords. They really crave on chaos and they like to see pandemonium and people run over because they've seen Gemini say certain things and people go crazy and they're like, what? I can do so much better. And so Sagittarius is just flailing about like, yeah, I put my dick in her pussy and then she shat on my face. While I was having sex, she had diarrhea and it was disgusting. And then it's like, yo, my 4-year-old is right here. What's wrong with you? My 4-year-old is right here. What are you doing? Sagittarius, you are out of pocket. Because like the whole time, you know. It's not like you don't know. It's like, are you serious? Like, why? What was the point of that? Like, there was this. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to preface that is there's a nature with which you're going to process information like this. So like Mercury and Sagittarius is going to bring this languaging. It gets worse because now it gets better, was what I want to say, because Neptune is square this. So Mercury and Sagittarius is this passion of being so into your vision. Mercury and Sagittarius is you so sure that this new business idea you have is going to work and you're super excited. And your people around you are like, oh, wow, this is yet another idea. Now, the square to Neptune and Pisces is you not aware that this plan is delusional AF. Like, and it doesn't have to be you. This could be people that are coming to you with this plan. Now, here's the thing. With this transit, that's not what's going to happen with you. The purpose of this transit is to completely transcend the mercurial function of your intellect to uplift you out of any delusions so that you can understand what you've seen. The reason why most of you are delusional is that you're caught into, you're caught into this dynamic where you're playing this game with yourself. Like, did I see it or am I delusional? And it's the wrong question you're asking. It's not if you saw it or not. It's how you saw what you saw. What exactly did you see? And we're using the whole notion of visualization and sight because Sagittarius is the sight. Okay. If air is going to be like sound and vibration and what you hear, words, communication, then fire is going to be visual and sight. And then earth is going to be sensual feeling. And then water is going to be emotional feelings. Cool. So with that in mind, this visual quality of what you're seeing, some of you are delusional as hell because you don't understand what it is you're perceiving. And you're going to it's like the camera is blurry. Imagine your camera is focusing and it's blurry. You're seeing what you're seeing, but you don't know exactly yet. That's going to completely clear. And the way it's going to clear is going to be like, whoa, do you get me? You know, because it's happening now already. So you've been slowly but surely focusing, and you can make up enough of the image where it's like blurry, but you can still see something that was hidden. And let me make sense of this. It's like before you focused it, you didn't see it. Then it started to blur. Then you started to see it. When it focuses again, it's going to be there. But there was this weird period where it was in that still blurry image. That weird period is Neptune through Pisces. If you're a Virgo, especially, it's been happening. It's definitely already happening. Virgo is going to be one of the first people on it because they're the only ones that complete the energy. We have energy in Gemini. We have energy in Pisces. We have energy in Sag. So if you don't have Virgo energy, right, there's just going to be crucial social context and details that you're not going to have that Virgos will have real time. And so you're all about to see shit happening as it's happening before anyone else, unless you're an Aquarius, you already know, or you're a Pisces. We don't talk about Pisces. So like, yeah, or you Sagittarius, so you see it. So yeah, this is really, really exciting. It's kind of cool too, because here's the Neptunian trip. There's a Plutonian trip and a Neptunian trip, and then a Uranian genius ploy that I'm not really going to speak on. But the Neptunian trip is this. Some of you are about to be completely wrong and still right. It's a Neptunian troll and it's going to be hard to say. It's a facet of your own subconscious that is trolling you because it perceives reality more supremely than you. Okay. You perceive reality more intellectually than it, but it's sunning you. It's way better. And maybe it doesn't communicate in 3D better than you. This is the best way I can say it. So basically, with the Neptune trip, what's going to happen with this transit is there's something that you're delusional about. You can admit it. It's okay. It could be a dream. There's something you're delusional as hell about. But what you're going to realize is you're going to be disillusioned by it and realize that you were wrong. But what it really is what it really is you were right. So let me kind of rephrase that. You're looking at something right now as it's not. What you feel like it is what it is, oddly enough. But what you're saying it is what it's not. So there's what you feel it is, and then there's what intuitively you're being shown it is, and then there's what you're projecting onto it. It's like an input-output incongruence and dissonance. That's what makes it delusional. So you're going to be disillusioned, and you're going to finally see it as it is, and you're going to realize, oh my gosh, you were right. But the way you were trying to explain it was wrong. There's a whole nother trip about this too. It's like a lot of this is based off of how facts are being perceived, but this is also kind of like the reason why it's a Neptune trip. This is the vision I have. It's like your subconscious is tricking other people by tricking you. The Neptune trick is you're lying to yourself so that you can lie to other people who are trying to lie to you. It's like certain people trying to deceive you, but because you genuinely are deceiving yourself and you're not conscious of it, they're taking you serious. So it's almost as if like you're perceiving something in a way that's not exactly what it is. And once this gets unraveled, right, it's like what it really is what you're trying to communicate. But the way you're saying it is misleading. So that once it unwraps, because if you were to say it the way it really is, it would turn certain people away. It would push you away. So you're tapped into what it is. But if you were to see it as it is, it would push you away. So you're seeing it in the way it is. Then it's going to disillusion. And then you're going to be like, oh, I was wrong, but I was still right. And it's almost like a fly trap that kind of, I hope this resonates because that's the nuanced, weird process about it. To where even if you're wrong, you're still right. Objectively wrong. To the point where you can look at it and be like, oh, wow, I was completely delusional about this. But the intuitive basis behind what you were perceiving is spot fucking on. It's just your understanding of it was completely delusional. For example, some of you might realize, oh, wow, I have a soulmate connection with somebody. And now you're projecting on them, we should get married. We should get married. We should get married. Then this is going to be disillusioned. And you're going to realize, holy shit, we really are soulmates. But this is like my mortal enemy. like you were just completely delusional on how you were right. You were wrong, but you were still right. Like that person you were wrong about marrying them, but you were right. You're definitely your soulmate. So like it's deep. Like this is the transit. This happens. This is going to be a mind fuck. This is going to be a ridiculous mindfuck because Mercury is coming opposite Mars and square Neptune. The transit like this will never happen ever again. We will never have a transit like this again. So you have to understand that this is an intellectual ascension in the most supernatural way where your brain is able to process the split nature of your higher and lower self. Mercury going through, so this is the dopest thing about this transit. And I want to kind of highlight how this starts, right? With, of course, coming out of Scorpio, it's going in with Venus. We want to highlight one of the most important parts of this transit, the new moon. This new moon is like turning on a brand new PS3 and the loading screen comes on. This new moon is like turning on a brand new PS5 and the loading screen comes on. It's the visual stimuli that is actualizing the programming that went in to create this entire lie that life is a creation by evil, twisted gods who want to pimp you out for your energy. By this amazing gift and experience that we can enjoy and connect with each other. Okay. No, but for real, this new moon is very important, especially when you take into account the date for this transit is November 16th to December 7th. November 16th to December 7th. If you think that creation in this 3D reality is a persistent illusion, it's not really a bad thing. But given that this is a dream created that's projected, the symbolic thing about this period in time, right? You have November 17th to the December 7th. So from November 16th or 17th to November 24th, is going to be the preparation phase. You're loading in the disc. You're getting ready to start this brand new visual adventure. Okay. November 24th. Remember, no, from now basically to November 24th is the first part of this transit. And then the new moon is going to blast off. The dopest part about this is Mercury leaves Sagittarius during the full moon in Gemini. So we have the new moon in Gemini, Sagittarius, then we have the full moon. So Mercury is literally servicing us through the entire Sagittarius transit, the first part of it. That is huge. This is literally new moon to full moon. It's starting a cycle, completing the cycle. It's loading the screen. And as it loads the screen, Mercury is servicing peak ascension of visual processing in order for your brain to see unseen shit and ghosts and spirits in a way that's going to be really radical with Uranus and Taurus and Mars and Gemini, because you're having to integrate that real time while talking to someone about their baby shower. And now you're seeing weird ass auras around them. And now the person you're talking to is like, you see that too? I was wondering what that is. It yellow? Yes, it's yellow. Weird. How strange is that? Boom. That's the energy. It doesn't have to sound like that, because the nuance of how you talk to people being a unique way, but you have to take into account how genius you are and revolutionary you are to at such a quick nature process this and make sense of it relative to your culture. And once again, nuance. Let me tell you something. This Sagittarius season is going to be bonkers. Do you see this right here? Do you see this square right? This is insane. We will never, ever have energy like this ever again. Do you see that? Do you see Neptune next to Jupiter? That's crazy. That's crazy. There's not a single person alive on this earth who has that in their chart. And the children who are born with that now are miracle babies. The children who are being born right now with this are fucking miracle babies. Like, it's a unique limited edition time period. Okay, if you didn't get knocked up back then, it is what it did. I don't know what to tell you. Like, there will never be babies like this again. It's such a small window. This is such high potent magical energy. And the reason why this is beautiful is Jupiter and Neptune is fundamentally blowing the lid open on what is possible for you to perceive. Transits like this collectively take the whole notion of things we've seen as fantasy and now expand your ability to actually believe and experience it. It is why periods like this are coincided with mass delusion and mass deception. That's the negative part of this, to where lots of people can get away with just outright lying and keep it's not even a joke. Like, and that's going to be a major deception of this transit. The alignment of truth here with Mars is so crucial. It's going to challenge you every step of the way to make sure that without Virgo, you don't lose your way, because the mutable nature of this energy, you can be on it, and then an idea completely disrupts you in your la land. So at every step of the way, you're going to be challenged by what you're seeing, because not everything that you see is grounded in reality or aligned with truth, but you're still seeing it. You could be talking to the spirit of your dead aunt, and you see it and you feel it and you hear it, but that could be a familiar spirit. So that's not really it. And this is where you're going to be challenged to make sure what you're experiencing is aligned with truth every step of the way. It should feel frustrating, but it's a necessary precaution. You have to keep a Virgo around you, because there's only going to be Virgo energy, Libra energy, and Leo energy that's going to be able to at least counteract and produce results and receipts through analysis, real-time analysis. If you don't have that energy there, you won't necessarily need it, but it'll just kind of make it more challenging. So that's the first part of this. From now to the 24th, it's setting it up. Mercury in Sagittarius is going to span from the new moon to the full moon. And that's what's very important. Shout out to 100 Agency. We're definitely going to do a peace talk soon. That's a master Gemini right there. Virgo Moon Geminis are master Geminis. So he's definitely up and coming, putting in that work. So yeah, we do have, of course, the beginning of this transit, which is so beautiful, because what you want to see regarding this is what I just learned about the magic of Sagittarius. When you see something new moon, the new moon in Sagittarius means you're going to see something new. Where Sagittarius is in your chart, what house it's in, and what aspects it makes to other planets is going to determine how you see what you're going to see. But everyone collectively in the God level collective sign Sagittarius around the world is going to see something. It doesn't have to be pertained to everyone seeing the same thing, but everyone is going to have a new experience. And then we can tie this into the new moon series since Aries. So this is now the ascension of a new cycle of what you activated since Aries in April, this new self-definition that in August you strengthened this new cycle of creativity, expressing this new self-definition, and then Sagittarius, which is taking this new self-definition to a higher level, because this is a new vision of yourself, because now you've activated a new sense of yourself. Okay. So with that being said, okay, Sagittarius with this new moon here, which is so awesome, is seeing something new. When you see something new and when you experience something new, what's the usual question you ask? What does that mean? If I were to show you a tarot card reading, you're going to ask, what does this visual imagery mean? What does this symbology represent? What is the meaning of the image I'm seeing? Bet. Meaning and the word. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. Sagittarius represents the creator, right? And Gemini represents the word. And so if you read a dictionary, okay, the word is with a meaning that represents what the word is. That word is Gemini and the meaning is Sagittarius, right? So the new moon is going to give us the meaning, and then the full moon in Gemini is going to reveal what the word is. In other words, you're going to see this new experience in the new moon, and then coming into the next 2 weeks through the quarter square in Pisces, you're going to understand what in Gemini the Sagittarius vision means. Does that make sense? So Gemini answers the question what, Virgo answers the question how through analysis. Sagittarius synthesizes the analysis and lets you know what those facts mean. And then Pisces answers the question why with everything. Groundbreaking to me. It's actually basic, but to me, groundbreaking. So if Gemini answers what, you're going to see the vision first, and the full moon is going to help you understand what that new vision means. So you're coming into a 2-week process, coming into the 24th of November, of what this new cycle means. That means by the 8th of December and the very end of this Mercury and Sagittarius process, you are going to process the meaning of a new experience. Okay, now I can finally start talking about this transit. Let's go in, because the moon ending on Mars during this full moon is one thing. The quarter square through Pisces is to break through the metaphysical understanding of making sense of extra dimensional vibrational entities and influences that, as aspects of you and contrary to you, have always been influencing you, the quantum nature of how you exist beyond this physical vessel and how you're ascending, how to operate the processing function, input and output in your brain. This is important because some of you were born advanced like this, where others of us are catching up to your level. So whether you're assisting people or you're helping break through, regardless of your level, this is very, very important because Mercury in Sagittarius is fundamentally going to ascend your intellectual capability and function of how quickly and effectively you process information and energy. Because once it goes into Capricorn, you're going to now take this ascended quality of your brain and you're going to do GOAT level shit with it. The power with which you'll be processing information will awaken through Pluto because you've now ascended the greater vision and direction with which you do. So November 24th is when you're going to activate this new vision. This new vision is going to uplift you out of old processing protocol, old habits, old thought patterns that kept you basic. You're now seeing beyond. And this is so very crucial. I think it's very poetic that Mercury is transiting like this, especially in the sense where all of this transit is facilitating the greater ascension of your being to be able to harness supernatural states of your awareness. So Sagittarius season is where you start to see the supernatural effects of this evolution on your body and psyche, so that this didn't happen overnight. The majority of this process was imperceptible by the human eye. Your dog or cat probably saw this process, but there were no like tools with which you were able to see this, versus now where it's all noticeable. And it's also retroactive to where you can backdate and go backwards and see what you're now breaking through and understanding how to apply. It's like during this period, you'll break through with a constant with which you can now use to like move back. Some of you already have that constant though. So this is where everyone's at a different level. But this is so very important because the notion that we want to really speak to here with Mercury is crucial when we talk about the whole nature of Mercury and Sagittarius breaking through your ability to perceive the higher realm and the lower realm. So what I was saying in a previous video is basically, this is not the false dilemma that I want to shape this up to, but this is an analogy. Whether you have been watching me for a year or a day or several years, you'll find that your consciousness has gravitated towards a certain aspect of myself. So I'm going to say scenario 1 and scenario 2. Either scenario is me. So like neither is better than the other. It just speaks to the nature of how you process information. Okay. For example, I would count as the first scenario, but everyone's different. Okay. So there's the first scenario and the second scenario. The first, you do both. You look at me and everyone with both scenarios, but you do one way more than the other because that's your process and function. Okay. So scenario 1 is when you watch me on YouTube or when you watch me, you listen to my words. You watch exactly what I'm doing. You actually pay attention to the visual quality of the physical nature of what I'm saying. You process and analyze what I'm saying as is. Okay. You're comprehending. I said 1 + 1 is 2. You're comprehending that. Then scenario 2 is you're not really paying attention to what I'm saying. You're paying attention to the meaning of how I'm saying it. You're paying attention to why I moved my hand in a certain way. Why when I started my transit, your friend called, right? You don't really even pay attention to the details. You're looking at my soul, right? I'm not aware of this. I'm more aware of scenario 1. I'm all Gemini'd out. So like those of you who connect with my moon, because some of you actually see it. Some of you see me channel, like some of you see me like puppet stringing myself. I don't really see that because like I'm in here, but like some of you see it. Like some of you guys who are scenario 2, you'll know your scenario 2 because like you'll be thinking something in your head and then I answer it. You'll be like, oh damn, peace dealer, is this what you mean? And then I'm instantly like, yeah, and I also mean that, what you were thinking. So while I'm doing you like that, I don't even know I did that to you. Like this is now a transpersonal, but I did that though. Like you did that actually. Like we co-created that. So this is a very psychic, there's a thin line between that and delusion that this Mercury and Sagittarius is clearing, especially in a state of supernova activations that will help expand and blow away a lot of the confusion that induced a lot of this delusion or illusion. You are both. So the thing is, you are both. It's just some of you do one more than the other. And it's not limited to this. No, but the thing is, especially if you have Aries energy, but like you definitely, I definitely am speaking to you. So like there is also that dynamic where a lot of people ask, hey, are you speaking directly to me? And the thing is, I am. Because when you take it, when you take it for as it is, right now in this very moment, it's me and you. So even if what I'm saying resonates with like so many other people in this moment right now, I am speaking directly to you. You literally summon me. I'm like your pocket Jesus that you summon so that I can help you through your journey. Okay. So with that being said, this is like breaking through the roller coaster ride, which right now we're on. So Mercury trine Jupiter is the apex of this roller coaster. And once this bursts through in Sagittarius over the next couple of days, I really appreciate that. This puts you in a position to completely break through the nature of what you're seeing. So let's break this down. Right now, it is the 16th of November, 15th of November. And as the transits move, you're going to come into a deepening realization of how amazing you are. That new moon is inducing a new supernatural experience. And let's actually catalog that. So we step into the Mercury ingress in Sagittarius. And so the moon in Virgo is going to help you understand the natural, physical, detailed context of this ascended visual quality. Every single degree of this Mercury transit is going to be so magical. The quality of synchronicities that you have been seeing will hyper accelerate to a limitless capability to accentuate the God level of processing ability and speed that we will call Godspeed. Now, you have been dealing and processing at Godspeed your entire life. Actually, it's just, if you were to describe it, there's no way you can, because Godspeed is your subconscious ability to process about 1 trillion events happening within a few picoseconds. You can actually do that. Your brain or your spirit has the ability to perceive. If you were to tap into your God self right now, you would perceive events and be able to influence the perception with which the speed of how you see what you're seeing is, if I can say that right. Whether you induce a technique or a near-death experience, but it's hard to describe Godspeed because processing information at God speed is near impossible because you would have to be able to perceive information at Planck length seconds, which is impossible for your brain to do now, even if you meditate and get it to a state. But your spirit can do this. Your spirit can do this, right? So you do this already. It's just this realm vibrates so slow that as you are processing spiritually at God's speed, you don't have any situational context to even know it. Thank you. So your brain catches glimpses of this in the form of synchronicities. And your brain might want to attach to it and it's already gone because it can only go so you have been going through a lifelong synchronization process with which you can balance your ability to process Godspeed while still being in a physical vessel. This is so very important because your brain catches glimpses of this and you've been breaking through your brain's ability to tap into that state at will. This is going to further evolve to where you live in that state. But we're coming into that sense, and some of you are already there, but we're coming to that state where instead of just capturing glimpses, this is now synchronized as every single facet of your reality to where you're now living more in that state. And the thing is, you're never not in that state though. So this is you reworking and reprogramming the input output capability through ascension of your own brain's function to facilitate this. And I want to be, you're not, it's a quickening, right? But you're not necessarily speeding up the way you process as much as you are tuning in and aligning to this facet. The way I'm saying it is very misleading. It's actually very stupid, but the concept I'm bringing forward, I want you to really take. If we can learn to deliberate the electron's proclivity to quantum superposition, yes, we can turn our minds into quantum supercomputers. And see, there's the theory you have about this. And that theory, bro, is going to be completely confirmed with this Moon and Virgo transit, because you're going to find out ways in which quantum superposition can be applied to other people observing your dreams. Like here's a hack. Here's a reality hack. If you imagine something in front of a Pisces sun, first of all, they will see you imagining it. And it's going to happen. If you imagine anything in front of a Pisces sun or a Sag sun, try it. Try it. Your imagination is a particle and their vision is quantum superimposing it into reality. I want you to actually try that as an experiment. Scorpios, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a concept that you want to play with. I think the way I'm saying it, once again, is delusional. This is the Neptune trick. But then once it's disillusioned, it's like, okay, I was wrong, but I was right. Cool. Then there's the Pluto troll. I forgot to mention that. The Pluto troll is very important because with the Pluto troll is an unconscious facet of yourself that is trolling the shit out of you. It's an unconscious fear that, and this is actually the basis of the quantum superposition is the basis of our rituals that we do on this channel and why it works so well. But other than that, the Pluto troll is an unconscious fear that you have. And the whole notion of this Pluto troll, so the Neptune troll is tricking you into seeing something that it's not, but still being right about what you feel. It's so Neptunian. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. I'm sorry. The Pluto troll or the Pluto trick is really weird. It's not strange. It's very sinister. Okay. Some of you are aware of it and it's your secret weapon. Others of you aren't aware of it and it's self-sabotage. Pisces activate other people's psychic abilities all the time. Scorpios awaken people's psychic abilities, and then Cancers nurture people's abilities. Okay. But I gotta study perfection here, so I want to really look more into that. But basically, yeah, if you listen to Pisces music, they'll just activate your magic just by listening to it. It's really magical. That's very vague to say, but okay. So basically, the Pluto trick is very crazy. If you're not aware of this Pluto trick within you, everyone has it. If you're not aware of the Pluto trick within you, you will self-sabotage yourself until you discover it. You will constantly be on a road to self-sabotage, and then you'll discover it and awaken it. If you understand your unconscious so much, then it's going to be a secret weapon. When you understand the Pluto troll, you will become unfuckwittable. You will become a mysterious like a Scorpio. When you master the Neptune troll, you will become super magical because you'll trust your intuition. Even if it doesn't make sense on the surface, you'll know that basically Neptune teaches you that even when you're wrong, you're right. Even if you don't get the Virgo right, the Pisces is right. What Pluto teaches you is that when you lose is when you win. It's another form of surrender, but it requires you to face your greatest fear. So if you're aware of this, it's a secret weapon. It's an extreme fear that lies to you. It's false evidence that appears real. The Pluto troll is this: when you die, you become reborn. So for some of you, you're defending something. You're defending something. It's a Pluto troll. It's like the way Pluto will troll you is someone who you're fighting and they're running from you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're giving you the impression that they're weak. They're giving you the impression that they don't want to fight you. You know what I'm saying? And then once you beat them up and once you like destroy their defenses, what they were holding back was a monster. So you think it's over. But no, actually, once they let go of that defense, their real self comes out and they destroy you. The destroyer was it's like a hidden destroyer. So it's opposite from the ego way, where they lead with the ego, but then within them could be something frail, and they're overcompensating for that inner weakness by being egoic and direct. This is the opposite, the Pluto troll. It's like, how does this work for you? In a sense where unconsciously you're holding back a certain part of yourself that expresses itself through a fear. And once you face that death, it actually unlocks the monster within. I hope that makes sense. I hope I want to say that right. It's like you can give someone the impression that you were kind of had no hand, and you know what I'm saying? It's like you're telling someone, please don't destroy that car. Please don't destroy that car. And they destroy the car. And then you realize, hey, that car had a button that destroys your house. And because you destroyed my car, now your house is destroyed. It's a Pluto trick. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have your first health bar, but your true strength comes after you die. Your true strength comes after you're defeated. So this Pluto trip is to not make you afraid of defeat, but to embrace defeat. When the reason why you'll be unfuckwittable when you master Pluto, because it's like no one can threaten you with death. Imagine someone tries to threaten you with death, and it's like, you're threatening me with a good time. You know what I'm saying? When I fully surrender, and so that it's deep. Scorpios understand it, I feel, but and Moon and Scorpios, but or Moon Plutos, right? But yeah, the Uranus hack or the Uranus trick is crazy. I'm not gonna explain that because it's so convoluted. The Uranus hack is like an Ocean's 11 movie. So like with the Uranus hack, it's something you did 17 years ago that somehow oddly is relevant to what you're doing now. And like you didn't know that at the time. It's so weird. It's so weird. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Aquarius is y'all are weird. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it. It's just like, how did you know all of that shit at that time? I don't want to talk about it. Like this, it's just almost scary to think about. Anyway, that new moon, once again, is you coming into a new experience and synthesizing what that experience means. That new experience is like coming into a new way to perceive your reality. That new experience is like, oh my gosh, I saw a vision. And then the moon goes into Pisces. Oh my gosh, the vision happened. What does that mean? And then the moon goes into Gemini and you understand what it means. Boom. And now that you understand what it means, Mercury goes into Capricorn. You know how to function with this perception and ability to process information. You know what to do now when you see these visions. You know what to do with this ability and gift. Okay, so this is the I have to talk about this. This is how the transit starts. Like over the next 3 to 4 days, coming into the 19th, the moon in Virgo, okay, is putting you in a position to understand the real social dynamics behind the ascended nature of your brain's capability. So you are constantly in the space of God's speed, but your brain is processing 3D. There is never usually situational context for you to be aware that you're in God's speed while you're in it, because it processes so fast that nothing here vibrates at the level for you to match it. Thank God for this timing, because the moon in Virgo is going to start to synchronize the God level ascended nature of your brain's capability that you have been processing effectively and transcending since March. Every year relative to the label, or every year relative to the cycle you update, relative to this year in cycle, you did such an exceptional job breaking through your ability to process and align, right? This is all about aligning your inner world and your external reality. This is going to synchronize over the next 48 hours, literally right now. The coolest thing about this transit is because Jupiter is trining it coming out of Pisces. This is happening right now. Like we're literally starting the transit off with a trine on Venus to Jupiter. This shit is once in a lifetime, baby. So like as soon as this goes into Sag, the moon that's squaring it in Virgo is now giving you real life situational context to process the Godspeed level. Now, this is going to hyper accelerate. Basically, your whole life, it's been a miss. You had glimpses of this where it's like synchronicity. Right? If you're a Pisces or a Sag, you're actually in there. That's why you're ascended, because you know what I'm saying. Versus the rest of us who just have glimpse moments. This is a transit where it's like you're gonna be dancing by the end of it, like synchronicity. Twin flame calling me. Oh shit! Let's go to Sicily. Yeah. And if you're singing You Can Miss Me, my bad. It's going to get really funky. But yeah, especially if you have vivid dreams, some of you will also be able to establish the pipeline between 3D and the astral realm. So don't tell the Galactic Federation I told you I can get in trouble saying this, but some of you, because it breaks time travel rules, but some of you will literally be able to go to sleep tonight, Wednesday, for some of you on the East Coast, go in through a portal in a dream and then wake up in Monday or Friday. So I want you to sense how your brain struggles to make sense of that. It should. There's not really a logical function to explain that, but aspects of your spirit might be able to believe that. There's a controversial nature to this that will have you start to experience wild phenomena. And the craziest part about this is, to you, it's going to be new, but it's what's always been happening. Like the major revelation around this week and next week is that you're going to realize certain experiences that are new to you that have been happening your entire life. So you might realize you've been time traveling through your dreams your whole life, but the way your critical mind backwards rationalized what you're experiencing, you tricked yourself into believing it's normal. You do this. Science is proving you do this in your dreams too, by the way. So in your dreams, the reason why you're able to convince yourself you're not dreaming while you're dreaming is because the critical mind factor that's active while you're awake is turned off. So when you're dreaming, your friend is going to be floating. And the critical mind factor that's supposed to be like, that's not right, is going to be like, no, that's normal. Your friend always floats. Oh, no, that's normal. No, this happens. And I remember learning about that. That's amazing. So when you learn how to lucid dream, this is why when you're awake, you want to just, am I dreaming? If every 30 minutes or every 3 hours, you just stop yourself while you're awake, and you just say this, you're teaching your critical mind to do this. And when you're asleep, you'll do it because it's a habit now. You impress it in your subconscious and you'll wake up in your dream. Okay. That's just a technique. But now life is a dream. So you're about to uncover the critical mind factor with which you have been inhibiting your ability to perceive metaphysical phenomena. This is scientific, actually. There's scientific evidence and proof to suggest that your subconscious mind blocks out what it may not be able to process. So there's so much that your subconscious mind is perceiving right now, but it's only focusing on a select few so your brain doesn't lag and you can just basically take the excess junk out there. Let me blow your mind. What if you came into crucial supernatural context and understanding to aspects that your subconscious have been processing that now you realize what they are? It couldn't really process because most of these phenomena vibrated outside of your frequency range or electromagnetic frequency range to even process until now. And it's not that only thing constant in life has changed, but it's not that like, well, you did evolve. You have been evolving. So there's that. But it's almost in the sense where it's like you're able to integrate more of this. And the thing that's crazy is some of you are already at that spectrum to where you're already seeing what others of us are just awakening into. So some of you might be listening to this as, oh yeah, I've been seeing this, peace dealer. I've been seeing this. And now your understanding of what you're seeing is deepening versus others of you who are awakening to this for the first time with Pluto at the end of Capricorn. So we have to look at the moon in Virgo transit, because the moon in Virgo transit is going to be the grounding and analysis opposite Neptune square Mars and Gemini for you to know how to take intellectual action. Okay. Because if the moon wasn't going to Virgo, you would see a bunch of stuff. You wouldn't know what to do. You wouldn't know what the fuck to do. You wouldn't even know if what you are seeing is in a dream or real. So moon in Virgo is going to be like an inception, the constant to see if you're in a dream or not. Moon in Virgo is going to help you know how to see what you're seeing aligned with reality, how to look at the symbology and know, oh, I just saw a truck of a unicorn and my friend is calling me who has a unicorn on their shirt. So that's so before you would have just seen the unicorn sign and been like, oh wow, that's what's up. Now you're starting to realize, wait a minute, my entire 3D experience is a subtext of communication. I'm having a 3D experience where I'm going to the store and I'm talking to my friends, but that's not what's happening at all. The person who I spoke to at the store had an exclusive message to me that I was just thinking about yesterday. The place where I went at in the actual church was exactly what I dreamed about yesterday. And it was literally my higher self communicating to me through this entire 3D experience. Does that make sense? So that means you might have been processing your life moment to moment, and now you're about to connect and tie together how you going to dinner at 6 p.m. randomly connects with the person who you spoke with 3 a.m. earlier that morning, and how all of that ties into a message you're receiving. All one big broad message. Mercury and Sagittarius is the bigger picture. Mercury and Gemini is 1 + 1 = 2. Brad Pitt smacked this celebrity. It's lower minded factual information. It's stuff that's like literal. Mercury and Sagittarius shows you the big picture. It's like, okay, there's 5 doves in this music video, and this symbolizes that. It's not really focused on the details. So you're going to literally ascend the nature with which you're able to perceive, square this, and it's going to literally feel like you're on the greatest adventure of all time, because each experience you step into is going to feel like a clue. It's literally going to feel like a clue that your higher self is giving you. And after you talk to somebody, you're almost going to be able to anticipate the clues. It's going to be like you see a dove fly by, and then you get a phone call, and you're like, someone's like, "Hey, can I ask you something?" And you're like, "Let me guess. It has to do with a dove." And you're like, "How did you know?" And I'm like, and you're like, "Wow." Like it's gonna be synchronized. Like the synchronization process is complete. The thing is, some of you started the game off with that level of synchronization. So this is going to be you aligning others with their level of synchronization because of how synchronized you are. Like some of you are like Pisces, you do this all the time. Like Sagittarius and Pisces do this all the time. Every one of us does this all the time. But Sag and Pisces are aware of this. Their lives are super magical. And they know how to take leaps of faith. Like Virgo does this too, but they're more analytical with it. So they don't take that much leaps of faith that Pisces will, because they're straight fish target, where like they can just leap into a magical moment. So everyone's definitely going to come in here. What about exorcism and slaps from external gnarls? This is going to open up your brain's ability to process these dynamics. So we want to highlight that the first part of this transit with the moon in Virgo is effectively, keyword effectively, putting you in that position to once again realistically make real sense of the bigger picture of everything you're being guided into. Okay, once the moon is in Virgo, you're going to start to pick the pieces together. The moon in Virgo basically is all the pieces of the puzzle. And then when the moon is in Pisces, the puzzle piece will be completed. Okay. After you complete the puzzle piece, you're going to decipher what the message means. I'm channeling this real time. This is crazy. I'm excited right now. This is actually pretty fun. So the moon in Virgo is where that makes so much sense, because Virgo is breaking down each individual piece into its individual part. And then Pisces is seeing how they're all correlated, right? So you have the moon in Virgo. The moon in Virgo right now, because we're leaving Leo. When the moon is in Virgo, the universe is going to give you each puzzle piece. It's going to start to show you how everything is synchronizing at this ascended level, because we had 2 natures of the synchronization in September and June in Gemini and Virgo season, respectively. Okay, so with that being said, at this ascended level, you're getting the pieces of the puzzle, moon in Virgo. By the time the moon 2 weeks from then is in Pisces, you're looking at the puzzle assembled. Okay. And then when the moon is in Gemini, full moon, you know what the image of the puzzle means. Boom. So moon in Sagittarius is where, after you receive all the different pieces of the puzzle, you start the new moon of piecing together this new vision. Okay, so you're starting to see the synchronization. This is leading into, of course, the moon in Libra, which is going to break you through who you connect each puzzle piece with. And because this is going to transcend the nature of what you're seeing as you're connecting these people with these pieces, it's going to completely transform in light, Sagittarius, of what you're seeing, who these people are. What does that mean? There's a certain way you see people right now. Then you're going to get the puzzle piece. Then you're going to apply it to them and be like, oh, this is what you really are. Or this is who you really are. It's going to completely change the way you look at it. And then boom, this is where we step into the 24th. And this is where we kick in the first part of this transit. Okay, November 24th, 2022. From the 16th to the 24th, that setup is equivalent to you getting a puzzle piece, getting a puzzle, seeing the individual pieces, and getting ready to start creating that vision. So the new moon in Sagittarius, you're creating the new vision based on this updated ability to perceive your reality. It's like you can see clearly. That's the best part about new moon in Sagittarius. You can see. It's a new vision, but this new vision is opposite Mars. So the challenge here opposite Mars is the intellectual need to make sure everything you're seeing makes fucking sense. Because there are going to be a lot of people, everyone is going to see a new vision, but a lot of people are going to run with this new vision left field, and they're not going to make any sense. They're not going to be able to complete that puzzle piece because they're fitting square pegs in round holes, and they're trying to figure out what. See, it fits. See, and you're looking at the puzzle, and it's like, bro, that's not what the puzzle looks like. Like, look at the box. Like, the puzzle looks here, and you literally just colored over the pieces. That's not how it works. And then you say they're delusional, and they're like, you're a bigot. You're a bigot. Well, you're puzzle phobic. You're just puzzle phobic. And it's like, I'm not trying to be puzzle phobic. I see what you're trying to do, but like, this is the puzzle, and you're not creating what's there. Like, you're trying to force pieces there that aren't supposed to be there. So be very mindful. Mars and Gemini is going to be that militant approach to be like, okay, but is it the truth though? 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 And this is going to be frustrating, but it's going to align it properly. The reason why Mars is going to be on your ass is because if you are taking action in that sense, out of alignment, you're going to jump off a cliff. There's a lot of faith required here. We don't have the Virgo unless you have Virgo energy. So you're going to get really lost. Okay. That Mars opposition to Mercury is very crucial because this is going to be the magic that will instantly, with lightning quality, align these complex realizations with actions you can do real time. If Mars wasn't in Gemini, right, you would see it, but you wouldn't be impelled to do anything about it. You probably wouldn't even know what to do. But now Saturn is trining Mars. So you're going to see it and know what to do. You're not only going to know what to do, you'll have the backing of imagination with Pisces to pretty much imagine any scenario possible to do it. And now this process is an ascended process of synchronization. Mind you, Mercury in Sagittarius is preparing you for the final boss battle. This synchronization process is for you to wage war with, of course, a God level or devil level threat. Okay. Devil level, God level, it is what it is. But this is going to have you see the element of fears you have to face and directly confront it. Now, the nature of this synchronization process is going to be super fast. Mercury in Sagittarius is the 8 of Wands. So the supernova activation that some of you may experience, or the level of ascension, is going to move by so quick. the level of information you process by the time we finish will feel like you've processed a year's worth of information in such a short time. That's how quickly the events are going to kind of go. And it's an illusion. It's not that they move that fast. It's just going to be the illusion of how quickly things are moving that you'll kind of get that pace. So the first part of this is from now to the 24th. The second part of this, which is very crucial, is the moon in Sagittarius to the moon in Pisces. Mercury will blast through the first 2 decans while the sun not only activates its cycle, but now checks the sun with the quarter square. This is going to be a very magical period of the synchronization process, because this is now taking your soul understanding to the unseen metaphysical dynamics that you don't see about yourself, and it's going to have you understand it fully and see it. This is going to be very terrifying for those of you who are afraid of yourself, and this is going to be very rewarding for those of you who have always believed in yourself. For those of you who have always known that you do certain things, but you can't see the evidence of, you are seeing the effects of, because of 2 weeks prior, which we're going to experience 2 days from now, the individual puzzle pieces that the moon in Virgo is going to start to show you. It's going to, like 2 days from now, you're going to start to see evidence of your magic. You're going to be like, oh shit, I did that. Oh shit, this is happening. Oh shit, this is really happening. Oh wow, I thought this was a coincidence. This is really happening. Then 2 weeks from then, the puzzle pieces together. So now all those instances, they're all connected. It's like, oh, I really got it like that. This is really happening. This is really happening. This is the breakthrough point of the breakthrough ascension arc of the synchronization process. Okay. And this is where, in the third decan, the symbolic nature of Mercury going from first to second decan is the first decan of Jupiter expanding the next level of your processing ability and then moving forward in the Mars decan. So the way Sagittarius works is it expands first, moves forward, and then it strengthens its quality once it's in that with the third decan. By the time it's in the third decan, it's going to be strengthening how much more powerfully you are visualizing a new experience, which means the hyper acceleration coming into this date you see here on the 1st of December is going to activate this new vision. Moon in Capricorn move you in the new direction for what to do to cultivate and manifest the superpower of this vision. And then the moon in Aquarius strengthen the total knowledge of everything you're seeing. After the moon is in Aquarius and you strengthen the total knowledge of everything that you are seeing, it's going to happen. Moon in Pisces, you're going to start to understand, holy shit, this is the complete puzzle piece. This is how it all fits. Life change. We'll never, ever in our lives have a transit like this again. This is retarded. Then we're going to integrate all of this. So the moon's going to go into Aries, and you're going to know how to fully express the understanding of who you are as your ascended self. Now you're seeing beyond anything you can see before. And this doesn't mean that you have to be seeing ghosts. It's just going to be like, it's going to feel like you stepped into this myth, like you're harnessing 100% of your brain. It's going to feel like you slipped the NZT. For some of you, it's going to feel like you can harness at will, though. So from the first part to December 1st is your brain naturally reaching here. And then post December 1st is at will. It's like, okay, this is the most powerfully I can do this at a given time. You are literally actively, cardinally with this function, pushing through the peak with which you can harness this accelerated ascended brain function. Specifically highlighted with the trine to Mercury and the moon, this will help you understand how to feel about who you are in order to step more into this expression of your power. Moon in Taurus is going to integrate this. So based on this brand new vision, the Uranian North Nodal integration is going to give you more real evidence than ever. Because when you start to feel in the moon in Pisces of, wow, like I'm feeling the evidence, I'm feeling unseen aspects of myself and seeing it, it's happening. It's still not going to be real for you. You're going to see the evidence of it, but it's not going to be tangible until you break through in understanding how you personify it. And then the moon in Taurus integrates this for real. Uranus hyper manifests this is like you wishing or intending for $100 bill to manifest and materialize in your hand, and it does. Now, the way it does is going to depend on your technique. And the moon in Taurus, to me, is the most crucial part because Mercury is going to be at the 28th degree. So let's take that concept. If you knew that your words are spells and your words are things, right? And you knew that within minutes what you say happens for your whole life, you've always known that words are things. You always know that your words are spells. But maybe you didn't know how to track exactly the way. Verse now this transit is having you see the power, Mars and Gemini, of your words. Listen, it's having you see Mercury and Sun and Sag, the power, Mercury and Gemini, Mars and Gemini of your words. And this is where, with your imagination expanded in Pisces, there's more of a limitless function. Like Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces is like you were just creating your reality with pink, yellow, orange, green, and red. Now, ever since 2012, they expanded this bitch. Now you got magenta, peach, pink, teal. You got like all colors. You got like they updated it. It's an app now. You can have every single color imaginable. You were working with the small easel. Now you have a big ass easel to work with. So now the way you create your reality with your imagination is so much more rich. You're even less limited, right? And this is going to help you now with that pipeline know what words to use and how. This is where by the moon in Taurus, and then once this breaks through with the full moon in Gemini, you know exactly what to say to produce whatever effect. And this is the most groundbreaking breakthrough transit to date, personally. Shout out to Pocket Jesus, because once the Mercury goes into Capricorn, this is going to have you move forward into taking whatever you ascend and practically move it. Now you're going, now it's like Mercury and Sagittarius ascended a new technique, and then you're using that technique. And I use Capricorn. And the sun will finish out of Capricorn eventually, or Sagittarius, as Jupiter is going direct, and this is going to have you ascend your consciousness. So your brain is going to move ahead of your conscious awareness. As you're using this new brain processing function, you're still aware of this ascension. And we'll talk more about that in future transit talks. So that's basically it. If you would like a live reading about what to expect, you can click the description box below. $40 minimum. If you email me your sun, moon, or rising in the notes or email, or you email me your chart, I will discern what this ascension will be for you. If you would like a tarot card, I will do that too. So thank you. This is very quick. This is going to be very fast. This is a very quick synchronization. Because the thing is, you did all the work already. So the work you needed to facilitate this was Mercury in Gemini and Mercury in Virgo. Sun in Gemini, Sun in Virgo. Venus in Gemini, Venus in Virgo. So Sagittarius is relative to the work you put in, synchronization. Were you thinking positive thoughts? Did you develop a good behavior in Gemini and Virgo? That's going to synchronize Sagittarius. Do you have shitty behaviors and beliefs? That's going to come up to ask, do you want to synchronize this? Because this will happen really fast. And if you want to change it, you'll be able to change it on the spot. Okay. So Aries, the message we have from Aries, and feel free to listen to this transit talk during the transit. It'll make so much more sense for you if you listen to this at least 7 times. during the transit. You'll just get more and more, and you guys are so amazing. I appreciate you guys so much. So Aries, we do have the page of fire. You want to get excited. Aries is saying you want to get excited. You're going to receive a lot of exciting news that will confirm a lot of what you've been breaking through. So this is going to uplift you out of this sense of alienation or complacency. Okay, so the page of wands is saying prepare for very exciting news that's going to confirm a lot of what you've been breaking through your discovery for. Okay, Taurus is saying that you're going to come into great completion when it concerns what you've been working towards. So Mercury in Sagittarius is going to transform your relationship with taking a theory and making it an established truth. And you might be in a position to travel the world or bring this throughout the world. Okay, so that's actually fucking awesome. So Gemini is saying that with the 7 of air, you are coming into a very strategic approach towards revealing information, especially if some of you are whistleblowing, because the way you can say something can get twisted out of context. So Gemini is saying before you reveal information, make sure the timing is right. And Gemini is also saying you're going to catch someone in a lie. They're not even going to know when you catch them in a lie. So yeah, and if you're the one lying, you're going to be caught. So be very mindful. Okay, so Cancer is saying Empress is going to be the expression of your lavish abundance through the acceptance and embodiment of your beauty through your values. So you definitely want to embrace beauty in all its forms and really claim and accept this in your life. Leo is saying that with the 10 of fire, you're going to go overboard with the excitement, and you want to make sure you don't overheat. You can take on so much responsibility because you're going to love it. What I'm picking up with Leo is you're going to have a lot that you love to do, but don't pick up too much. Normally with the 10 of wands, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this work. I don't think it's work you'll procrastinate on, but don't be so excited in saying yes to projects that happen so quickly that you say yes to too much stuff, because you're going to probably able to. Either way, 10 of wands is a peak. This is you coming into like great passion, but don't overdo it. Okay, so Virgo is saying that with this Mercury in Sag, you're going to see through illusions. Remember, you're really the only Virgo energy there. So like and Ada, please email me your chart or send me your sun and rising. Okay, but basically with that card, Virgo is going to help you discern what's glitter and what's gold. In other words, you're going to have a lot of options, but some of those options are probably boo-boo. So just be very mindful. Creatively visualize, but don't get caught up with distractions. Now, Libra is saying that with the 9 of water, your wish is coming true. You want to tune into what your satisfaction is, because you're going to feel that very powerfully, and you're going to be in a position to really tap into this powerful sense of really experiencing what you wanted, which I love, because Libra is the 11th house of hopes and wishes from Sagittarius. So you really are coming into a wish come true, and it's going to really shock you because of the way it comes in too. But you want to embrace it. Don't be too smug, but don't feel like it's too good to be true. So for Scorpio, it's interesting. Like after for Virgo is saying that if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Libra is saying that you're going to come into what you want and it's not too good to be true. So Scorpio is saying be careful about being too focused on material results and being too caught up in your ego, because you're going to be able to see who's snitching on themselves. You're going to have people who try and impress you or kind of inadvertently reveal that they're not tuned into their soul or spirit at all. And you want to, it doesn't make them bad people. You just want to be very mindful of how you deal with them, because if it comes to them making a soul-filled choice, they're not. Okay. And that's not their fault if you're aware of that and you still kind of held them accountable to that. Sagittarius is saying with the 7 of fire, first of all, can I appreciate how all the fire signs got fire cards? That's finesse. Aries got the page of fire. Leo got the 10 of fire. Sagittarius got the don't fucking back down. Fire. Sagittarius is saying it doesn't even matter if you're wrong. It does matter if you're wrong. But Sagittarius is saying you better stand up for your goddamn beliefs. And you really do need to stand up for your beliefs, because a lot of this vision that you're seeing is new before it has any context to be real, even if you're seeing context. So you have to keep the vision alive and not be so caught up on trying to make it make sense to people. You have the advantage here, so don't back down for what it is you are standing up for. So Capricorn, we do have ego. This is what Scorpio got, and this is your card. So this is you overcoming limits that have kept you blinded. Capricorn is saying you have the opportunity to become born again and break through any limiting beliefs and limiting habits. So Aquarius is saying, with the Knight of Fire, you're going to come into very passionate news and sudden events that force you to adapt. So for those of you who've been wanting passion or been wanting to gain more passion, this is going to be very promising. For others of you, it's interesting because I know Devin is a Sagittarius with an Aquarius. So Aquarius is saying the Sagittarius in your life is going to stimulate you with a lot of creativity. So that's actually very interesting. They don't have to be a Sagittarius, but this is definitely you perhaps going on a short road trip, coming into a lot of illumination. Now, we do have the Hermit card for Pisces, and this is you coming into a very important realization of your specialization and expertise. There's something that you're good at doing that no one else can do, and this is going to help you hone that more than ever. Finally, the collective reading. We do have the Eight of Water, a desire to move on. It's just with Mercury and Sagittarius, y'all are going to be running away from it. Yeah, we do have the Ace of Air. So you're going to come into a brand new perspective that's going to have you walk away from what no longer serves you, and you're going to walk toward where you're celebrated. So you're going to have a new way to communicate your courage and value, and you're walking away from where you're not accepted and you're walking towards where you're celebrated. Okay, you're creating greater strength in your community. It doesn't even have to be about you being accepted, but you are definitely strengthening your community. And that Ace of Wands is crucial because this is precipice on a brand new epiphany with the Kazemi the sun will have eventually with Mercury. Okay, so we're going to do the live readings. First, we do have Ada. Thank you very much. Ada, we know that you are a Sag rising, and you are one of the amazing Sag risings. You Sages with Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune, 83, mind-blowing. 83 Sages to me, or the 83 Sag generation to me, is like the 90s. Like, I feel like you and I have kinship because 83 is Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter and Sag. It's one of the most magical generations with the North Node, 84 in Gemini. You guys are some of the most magical people fucking ever. And then there's 1990, which has Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. So I like to say 83 is the Sagittarius version of the 90s, where the ruler of Saturn is with Uranus and Neptune, right? And then the ruler of Jupiter is with Uranus and Neptune. Of course, with Aquarius, it's just going to be Aquarius and Neptune, people born after 98. So that's a very interesting affinity. Now, take that whole concept, Ada, you personify that. So I'm going to send you this alien construct article that I really want you to read because you have one of the most amazing instrument alien constructs that I've ever seen as a 12th house Scorpio legend, pure queen. So you have that 12th house Scorpio sun energy, which is already gangster because we know that you're also Pluto Scorpio. So you have this with Saturn Scorpio, which means you are a fucking gangster. You are a queen gangster. If you wanted to have an underworld syndicate, you won't get caught by the law if you move right. And that's just for context. Your North Node is in Gemini, so you provide the truth to everyone. So why is this important? Mercury is going through your first. Your embodiment of this magic as an ascended creator goddess is putting you in a position with this eclipse to unlock the intangible nature of how powerful of authority you have with these occult hidden beliefs you represent to build a lifestyle around how uniquely supernatural you are. Because this 12th house Scorpio is deep, and you deal with the psychologically painful part of people that is unseen. But I mean, this is some of the most amazing first house Sagittarius energy I've ever seen. That triple conjunction is ridiculous. You can reflect the inherent God and goddess within each individual. You're so claircognizantly visual, but with Jupiter on the rising, you are this force of evolution. So Mercury is going to rework your brain's ability to process how powerfully and magically you express this, but also with Mars and Gemini, how you move forward towards your destiny. This is going to break you through elements that you could have never expressed about yourself, that you're more comfortable and confident expressing about yourself, because you have now more than ever innovated the lifestyle around how to actually live certain elements of your beliefs that aren't really, that are taboo, that but you have so much integrity in. You're using this to transform people's entire lives. So I hope that is resonant to you. I would love to do a reading with you because this chart is legit. I fanboy on a lot of charts. This is one of those charts. Okay. Mercury going through is going to really, once again, especially because you're Mercury in Scorpio, manifest this nature of understanding how. Listen, I've read a lot of Scorpio charts. You're one of the most supernatural Scorpio charts I've ever seen. Like, I'm fanboying right now. Biden is a 12th house Scorpio sun, and he had dead people vote for him. But like, this is next level. This is next level. I'm gonna do a documentary on your generation because like y'all level of magic is so on point as you're seeing the vision and you're visualizing your reality. It's happening. It's a certain level of lordship that, according to science, you only exist in fantasy. Like, you don't even exist according to science. You're a whole fantasy creature. So your existence in the 12th house is entirely legendary. And you may have doubted your own. You might have lived with imposter syndrome your whole life because you're a fucking goddess. And to accept that, you might have felt guilty to accept the fact that you're magical as fuck. Let me not even say that. I apologize. With the moon in Capricorn too, so like you're like one of the goats. So you have a goddess level soul. So like you're breaking through out of this imposter syndrome. If you need a discount code, let me know. I got you. And this is helping you embrace that more than ever. So Mercury is going to be your uninhibited quality of just fully stepping into and thus expressing this. Okay. So Maria, thank you. Let's get it. Okay, awesome. So Maria, we know that you were born with Neptune in Scorpio, which that generation also fascinates me. We see you have this in the second house, and we see that your moon is in Sagittarius. So for moon in Sagittarius is, unlike everyone else, you're going to understand this transit with such ascended quality that you'll be literally visually seeing the nature of this. It gets even better because your sun is in Pisces. So the metaphysical dynamics, first of all, a lot of people don't understand that every Pisces sun has extrasensory perception. Most Pisces don't really keep that secret. It's just when most Pisces tell you their experiences, you say they're delusional. So with you having the moon in Sagittarius, you have extrasensory perception with the ascended understanding of what you're perceiving. Straight goddess level. There's that's just straight goddess level. Like some of the most amazing magical people I've ever seen existed have this sun and moon. Like, it's amazing. All right. It's interesting. Special. So with that being said, you're not only understanding as a Libra rising how you are ascending your attitude in what abilities and skills you produce. The thing that I love about Libra rising is you could be talking about the most negative thing. It's going to be inspirational. Like anytime I've heard Will Smith talk about anything, you can put an inspirational music track behind it and it's inspiration. I don't know how y'all do that, but it's inspiration. And that's because as an artist, you paint pictures with your words. You know how to show people what it is you're speaking because you actually know what it is you're saying. So this development and ascension of your attitude and how you notice what's in your environment is not only going to expand with Jupiter in your 6th house, but Mercury is going to enable your processing ability to match what your spirit has always been perceiving in a way that is not tied for people to understand, but is more comfortable for you. Not so that you're stuck in your comfort zone, but just updated relative to these cycles, because there's so much that's looking good for you. This eclipse unlocked your 2nd house for investments with the 8th. You're coming into a nodal return in Aries coming into the next year, and subsequently a Saturn return. So with Mercury going through the 3rd, what I love about your generation with Pluto and Uranus and Virgo, and then Neptune and Scorpio, is that y'all going through this Mercury and Sag transit already have this uncanny ability to discern details. It's the dopest thing because unlike people born after the 80s, people with Neptune and Scorpio have Neptune trining their Neptune. They're the only ones with and then the nature of this trine is the most superior and supreme trine because it's Neptune and Pisces that's trining the Scorpio. So their intuition is on it, and they're not even telling you that they can read your mind through your body language. And then Pluto and Uranus is in Virgo. So in that generation, everything that y'all intuit is super specific and on point. Anyone born in like the 60s period, like it's scary because now Pluto is trining your Pluto and Neptune is trining your Neptune. So unlike those in a younger generation who have more powerful levels of intuition, they don't have the experience you have. And so you're fully expressing that. And this superior trine of full expression is at a level where you're strengthening your master Neptune in Scorpio, 26 degrees next to Psyche and Juno, which the South Node is unlocked. And this is giving you more creative ability to express how intuitively you integrate your lifestyle with just your intuition alone. And now your sun's in Pisces, so you're aware more of this metaphysical process to the point as an ascended master that you're helping other people learn how to change your life. And so this is how, in your case, you're coming at this from reverse as a Pisces sun, as an ascended divine goddess with the artist rising. I want to make sure I'm not really flat. I don't want to sound like I'm flattering you when I say that, because this is really more, when I say divine goddess, I really do mean that, like this eternal existence that really helps facilitate belief in people, because you're going to be showing people things that they never believe they can see, but is normal for you. And I think a key distinction here is with Chiron in Pisces that you have, and with Pluto and Uranus and Virgo, it's going to be you being able to bring into fruition details that people may have never even noticed, that you'll just kind of bring into fruition, that you might unconsciously, without even having to know. 12th house Virgo means that you're tuned into the facts, but you reveal it last before anything else, which is so interesting. So I really hope that speaks to you. Next, we do have Kirsten, aka Kiki. Kiki, you're also a Sag rising, born 78, which is cool because this gives you Neptune in your 1st, but Uranus in the 12th. And you now the late 70s into 80s, Uranus opposite Chiron and Taurus, I want to do a documentary about, because every single one of you that I usually meet, I always notice that Pluto rising woman in Scorpio always do yoga or know how to do yoga or work with Kundalini yoga. And then I always notice that Uranus and Scorpio opposite Chiron and Taurus people know some kind of massage therapy. And even if you don't know it formally, You naturally can do this. So Chiron in Taurus is not only natural healing, but destiny is aligned to unlocking healing as a part of your lifestyle. You are destined at this period to in some way incorporate healing in your work because you got the sauce. You got that supernatural channeling Reiki energy that can heal people of AIDS, cancer, and that's what makes it super controversial with Neptune on your rising, because you're a whole fairy goddess. With Neptune on your rising, you maintain this ascended personality and seraphim angelic physiology that legitimately, like I said before, honestly makes you not even exist according to science. On some real shit. Like, so you're having to confront with this Mercury return the updated quality of how you do this. This is so awesome though, because the South Node is unlocking greater strength. So you've always had this healing ability, but now with this eclipse, it is times 1,000 exponentially strengthening the effects of your healing ability. So it's like you may have always had proof that your healing works. Now it's on steroids. Now like you just touch somebody and the effects are like so much more relevant. But that's because of the process of releasing this during the cycles. So Mercury coming around in the first is coming into a new intellectual ability to process how much more ascended you are. Is the best part. Mars for you is in Sagittarius. So Mars in Gemini is aligning what actions you take with other people, like the bow. You're truth blasting the bejesus out of people. And with this truth blasting, this isn't having your presence. If this isn't formal healing, having you naturally heal people with your touch. And your Pluto Libra. So as a Pluto Libra, this is going to really sextile in the way you can harness this breakthrough with Pluto that squared your Pluto of expressing more of your value in light of the extreme space you hold with other people, because your moon is in Libra. So with your moon in Libra as an ascended creator goddess, okay, Jay-Z has this. It's a very powerful position because you understand the fashion and you understand the social context of how you as an ascended being reflect the collective back to itself. It's a really dope combination, but you're a vessel of Hades. So I will actually share the Instrument Alien Construct article. Please read that. As a vessel of Hades, you sense negativity and you understand extremely complex social dynamics in your space, in the community around you, that influences how you yourself express yourself as the creator. And you're a gangster too. Like the Mars sun on the rising means you're not shy on expressing this assertive masculinity and sexual nature of how you express this. But Neptunian adds the fantasy around you. And so people project all sorts of insecurities on you. And this is having you really cut through the bullshit and now communicate this relative to transcending your understanding. Because now you know you got the sauce more than ever. And so this is you really coming on to customize. You know, Mercury going through your rising is like if you're playing a video game and you're playing Grand Theft Auto, or you're playing a video game where you can customize your video game character and you go in the closet and then you get to change your hat, you get to change your appearance, you get to change how you communicate and see yourself. That's happening, and that's freaking awesome. Bobby Ochoa. So Bobby, please send me your chart. Or please send me your sun, moon, or rising. Okay, shout out to Jamie Dixon. All right. So by the way, for those of you who would like a discount on a reading, for those of you who would like a 50% off discount on a reading, email me the code Black Friday sale and I will give you the discount code. If you're interested in a half off discount code, email me that and I will give you the code. The code lasts until the end of the month. So you can feel free and you can get 50% off any readings, transit forecasts, and other such paraphernalia and other such, services. Perfect. So once again, Bobby Ochoa, please send me. Oh, there we go. So Pisces Sun, Cancer Moon, Virgo rushing. Okay. For your Virgo rising, okay, this is going to be in your 4th house. Now, as a Pisces Sun, this is going to be 10th house to you. So this is very important because as a holy divine being, okay, you are a master. Cancer moon means that you have a holy soul. Scorpio represents purity and Pisces is divinity. So, as an element of divine magic, you are the vibration of holy beliefs, holy divinity, expressed through with the Virgo rising, embodiment of perfection. You are one super powerfully magic motherfucker, and you know that. You sponsor this magic directly for other people. So Sagittarius in your 4th house is important because as a Virgo rising critic, critics unveil hidden meaning. 4th house is hidden. And not only is 4th house hidden, Sagittarius is meaning. And so this is hidden meaning that as an analytical personality, this 4th house Sagittarius season will unveil. You're going to be dishing the tea. And what are you dishing the tea about? Other people. With Pisces in the 7th, that's going to be facilitating this tea and critical understanding. And everything that you're seeing, you're going to be seeing other people show you evidence of. And it's going to clear out more throughout this transit any doubts you may have had about what you're feeling that are confirmed in light, Sagittarius, of more evidence, information. And I did that. That was a beautiful synopsis. On top of that, your moon in Cancer is going to help integrate this understanding because you're so goddamn psychic. And so this is going to be very, 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 very powerful in how uniquely, as a Pisces sun, that everything that you're feeling and processing, you're aware of directly. That's what Pisces suns and you will have the advantage of that other people may not really have that advantage to experience. Okay. And so basically, I hope you guys enjoy this Mercury transit. It's gonna be a good one. You guys stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.